Well, good afternoon, every peoples. How we doing? How we doing? Just gonna do a bit of a chill stream today. I want to get through Act 3. I basically, before I do like endgame stuff, I want to make sure that we have all the Pictos that are available to us. Changed up the builds quite a bit from last stream. We're gonna be focusing very hard on Mael. And I'm hoping that we can find some more supporting Pictos for Verso and CL. CL is extremely different from what we did before. And Verso here. So I was going through, I was trying to figure out, because I really like Luna. Luna is super cool. And I was trying to make her work, but I think Verso just has an ability that makes him a little bit more conducive for what I'm trying to do. And I think I need a new controller. My left stick is busted. It's like locked in, always pressed. So Verso has the ability to AoE break, which is something that I quite want, especially for some AoE battles. And yeah, that's basically the whole reason why I swapped over. So I gotta head to, first of all, we gotta go to the Reach. Is this the Reach? The Reacher, excuse me. So that's why I've swapped over to Verso. Give him a chance as well. I wanted to use him with his little sis. And yeah, Mael hits like a freaking truck. Unfortunately, Mael did get a nerf today, a slight nerf. I think. Actually, let me. Oh, hang on. Let me. Can I pause? Yeah, I can pause. Let me actually pull Steam up here. Probably need to refresh. Oh, let's see. Actually, the only one I have is from yesterday. Oh, no, they fixed it. Okay, so yeah, two big nerfs came to Mael. She's still super busted. We'll go over them in a second. Once we watch this cutscene, we'll go over what her nerfs were. But even with those nerfs, well, depending on what everyone else's damage multipliers are, 40% nerf to Stendhal. Yeah, but that shouldn't still be an issue because the multiplier on that was absurd.
She wasn't always this tall. She's obsessed with reaching the stars. So
Papa and his parables.
I don't necessarily know what like everyone else's abilities are, but like she had 25 multiplier on that.
Of meaning and purpose.
And so even that only brings it down to like what, 15? Yeah, 15.
What's the lesson with this one?
Which is still absurdly high. But I guess her weapon that puts her in virtuous stance, what is it, Mendel?
My sister's at the top.
I guess the third tier buff was not just doubling burn damage, it was doubling all damage. From what I understand. Which was pretty good. But she's still hitting like a truck. We have a lot of buffs on her now. We have just a lot of buffs in general. I spent some time grinding up some Luna. So she has just a frick ton now. 333, of course, for Expedition 33. But we're really building around just Phantom Strike and Stendhal. These are just like, they're so good. They're so strong. They do so much damage. I've leaned into Last Chance here. One of the things I was finding in the previous build that we had, which is, it's the same build that I have in the last video that I made, the mid-game build, was getting into Virtuo Stance. A lot of times I was actually using her Gradient Attack to do that. But there were just better gradient attacks like Doom on CL. It was really good, applying a bunch of debuffs. But I was using, was it Swift Stride? Yeah, we were using Swift Stride, but that meant that we had to be applying burn. And initially that wasn't a problem because the weapon we were using Brularum, which with her 100% crit rate, or basically 100% crit rate at the beginning, and then once we applied one burn with a free aim, we had 100% crit rate. We could just keep up burn basically indefinitely. With Metalum, it was a bit harder to do that. I was having to use Lune for Wildfire, and she wasn't doing Genesis, and it just kind of wasn't clicking as well as it was before once we got Metalum. So Last Chance is just really good. And the thing about it that I was initially concerned about when we got this, whenever it was, in Act 1, Act 2, whenever we unlocked it, was obviously putting your health to 1 is kind of a detriment. Especially when you have old man reflexes like me, and my dodges don't always connect when they should be, at least in my head. However, we are really, really leaning into shields now. We do have a couple other abilities here. So we have Guard Down, which is really nice. It's kind of a mix between what we were doing before with Fencer's Flurry and Offensive Switch. Offensive Switch obviously had the defenseless for 3 turns, which we wanted. Fencer's Flurry had the AoE that we wanted. So we just get Guard Down. Doesn't have the damage, but that's totally fine. Honestly, don't really need it yet. This is more of a remnant from kind of her transitional builds from our Act 2 to our kind of... This is like pre-endgame, I would call it. Honestly, I just needed a filler. I don't know if I'm ever going to use this, but I need something filler. I don't need another attack with these two. And then Breaking Rules, just there were a couple enemies that I had, like the Lighthouse Dragon, that just has a million shields, and I just want this ability. Especially since, because we lost Lune, Lune's Gradient Attack removed all shields, so now that we don't have access to that, I definitely want this Breaking Rules. We'll see how useful it is moving forward. And then CL here is 100% different. She is no longer... I really like her build, and I'd probably go back to it to try and figure out a way to make it work. Using... what was it? Chadian? Yeah, Chadian. So Chadian paired with the Card Weaver ability was really strong. It allowed her to get like full foretell and everything. But the thing is... we don't really have a need to heal anymore because we have shields on everybody. We don't really need AP anymore because we just get a ton of AP through just playing. We have multiple turns and all that kind of stuff. We have things like Energy Master now. Whenever we get 1 AP, instead we get 2. AP is not really an issue, so passing that around with whatever it was. I forget all the names. It's the one that passed around foretell. Not Grim Harvest. I don't remember. Which one is it? Which one is it? It's one of these. Anyway, that one, Plentiful Harvest. Thank you. And then her Dark Wave was not even coming close to the damage that Mael was doing. So really, the build kind of wasn't doing anything because of how busted Mael was. So instead, we're just going to go full support, lean into it, and basically have her fully support Mael. So obviously Fortune's Fury, because we can basically kill everything on the first turn anyway, so just having Mael deal double damage will just kind of make that happen. If we need to reapply our full set of buffs, we can do that with All Set. We can actually do both of these on turn 1, although it's one of those things where All Set would be nice to apply it to Verso, who kind of needs buffs, but at the same time, he really doesn't need buffs. We'll see why in a second. Intervention, if we need to do a little bit of turn manipulation, we have that. This side is not super necessary. Honestly, I don't even know how much I'm going to use it. That's kind of what we're going through and testing today. Potentially, although a lot of this stuff is probably going to be just smoked. Because we're not using Card Weaver anymore, Focus Foretell is kind of like the default Foretell getter if I need it. Grim Harvester in case I need Team Hills, but we'll see. And then Dark Cleansing is mostly there in case Mael actually does go down. I can propagate all the buffs that are on Verso, or just getting like burn off of units, right? If Mael gets burned and she's at 1 HP, I got to get that off her ASAP. So we kind of have it there for that. We had an enemy. Who was it? Oh, it was the Stack Attacker, the ultimate one that we started last stream on, that kept burning us, and he was doing a lot of damage. So in case we run into something like that, because again, I don't really need damage. She's not here for damage. Mael is our only damage dealer. And then Verso here, instead of doing what we were initially doing, so we kind of started mid-build with Dualiso. I swapped over to Confuso to try and have like a burn build, and this is back when we were in like mid-game when I was still doing Mael and trying to figure out how best to apply burn. Lune was kind of doing that for us. So I started doing this. Wasn't really doing it for me. And so instead now we're doing Siroso just to pass all bonuses off to Mael, because again, she's just like our hyper carry. So perfection gain is increased by 1 while powerful. This is super, super important to get us to S as quickly as possible. But we also have to get him powerful, which we can, of course, do with Powerful Revive. So the whole idea on this build is basically what we can do is we can have CL die. And then when CL dies, let me go ahead and sort these by active. We can do Breaking Death, and we can do things like Burning Death, which automatically applies burn, so we don't have to take a turn to actually do that anymore. But we also get bonuses like Shortcut, so she can just go first. We have on death, allies gain 3 shield points. So this is important because if we come over to Mael, in order to get a little bit more damage out of her, we have Shield Affinity. No, not Shield Affinity. There's one that gives like 10% damage per shield you have on. I forgot what it's called, though. There's so many of these. I just forget what they're all called. Is it Solidifying? No. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. I'm looking for it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's somewhere. Bring Death? No. I don't know. It's one of these, but maybe do I even not have it on? Hold up. Hold up. I forgot what it was called. Is it Shield something? Shielding Death? No. God, there's so many of these. I can't. I know that. I know what it does. I can't remember what it's called. Tainted. No, not Tainted. Maybe it is it just Shield Affinity? I thought there was one that gives 10% powerful shield. Maybe I don't have it yet. Maybe I was looking it up and I don't have it yet. I think it's actually in one of the places that I'm about to go. So maybe that was the deal. But yeah, but obviously she gets 30% more damage if she has shields for what we have now, and then in the next area we're about to, or not this area, but the next area we're gonna go to, we can pick that up. But yeah, that'll help her do a bunch more damage. The only thing I'm not sure about. Yeah, we'll see. I haven't tried this enough in full battles. I did a little bit of testing.
Grasps the sky.
Because I had to get like the speed all in line. Shortcut was a big deal because I thought I had everybody's speed like in order, but I forgot that CL when she applies Rush is gonna make Mael faster than her. And so Shortcut was really nice. Because I was figuring that if they all have First Strike, then it would just go in order by speed. And so I made CL faster. And I was trying to like do all the math. I was like, okay, so if Rush makes you 33% faster, what threshold do I have to hit on CL, or where do I have to put Mael? And it was just a whole big thing. And then I reread Shortcut. I was like, oh, does this work? And it's like, yep, it definitely works. It just forces her to go first. Or it forces her to go first before anybody. It basically stacks on top of First Strike. But there's a lot of weird interactions that I'm still trying to figure out. But like I think the weapon that I actually want to use with CL, because first of all, this weapon is fucking ugly. But I think the weapon that I actually want to use with her is in Lumiere, but that's like the last place I'm going. So, unfortunately, I don't have that weapon yet. Okay, So both these guys have their break bar completely full. So we can go ahead and Phantom Stars here, which will break. Or just kill. A lot of this, they're probably just going to die super fast because we're just super over-leveled at this point.
Disaster expedition, eh?
So, honestly, I can probably just do kind of this stuff.
That's lucky.
Let's carve a path.
The downside of this, though, or not really a downside, but it's just not like an optimal thing, is so when fighting tougher opponents, like I was in what is it, Renoir's Drafts, farming up some Lumina. And if you're only fighting 2 enemies, Verso only gets to S perfection.
That's lucky.
Or, excuse me, if you only fight 2, he only gets to A. Excuse me. If you fight 3, you can get him up to S. Just because of how many hits he's actually doing.
Oh, wow.
But a lot of the other, like the really good Pictos that I've seen on the wiki are all in like these last couple areas, which, you know, makes sense. They're in like the last couple areas that I haven't been to yet. But they're all like part of quest, relationship quest lines that I just like didn't do while I did a couple of them.
Show me what you can do.
Let's carve a path.
But at some point, I just like forgot to complete them.
Are they trying to fix things or break things?
She who grasps the sky. They're jealous. They wish to destroy her work. Pull her back
let's go
to
this
the
way.
ground.
Is this part of the parable?
The nice thing about First Strike that I didn't even think of is
Got
that
smiles today.
it overrides
Show me what you can do.
it overrides the like First Strike you have on the map with your right bumper, which is
That's
super
okay.
nice because that was kind of one of those small things that I wish they had a prompt for, because I wasn't sure how close I had to be. So it'd be like inching closer, use it, and then it wouldn't start the fight, and so I'd inch closer, use it, didn't start the fight, inch closer, oh, it triggered the fight, and now they have the First Strike.
Nice.
Draining Cleanse. Consume 1 AP to prevent status application. Okay. It's probably never going to get used.
Let's go again.
Can I just... Let's see. So if I just skip my
Full
turn...
deck.
I'm just wondering if this makes it slightly faster. Okay, so I don't have to do CL stuff here. It's been a couple days, though, so I kind of forgot whose side quest this was. I feel like it's CL's.
Let's finish this.
The nice thing about this too, because they get AP on resurrecting, I don't have to spend 1,000,000 points on energizing starts.
Full deck.
Because that was just using so many Lumina points. Oh, that's weird. I'm surprised he wasn't involved in that fight.
You can do better.
Ready.
Well, I guess we're not going to see Mael do her thing. Versal's just going to kill everything himself. Wait, that's where I came from. That looked like I might be able to go down there. Alright, we got glowy blue thing. I'm assuming glowy blue thing is what I'm supposed to be getting. Oh, jeez. Okay, I almost walked off that. We kind of left Verso down there, though. So what is this, like a giant wicker man? We're all just gonna burn up? God, CL needs a better... She needs a better looking weapon. This just is so ugly. I don't know how strong these guys are, so I'm just gonna pump them up. Probably not. I mean, if we're talking about this area, everyone's probably much weaker than we are right now. Kind of one of the downsides, like, ooh, sniper. First free aim shot each turn deals 200% increased damage and can break. Ooh, cool. Kind of one of the downsides of, like, this style RPG battles. You know, all of, like, this, like, Persona style, Metaphor style, Octopath. You know, not being able to see... Oh, okay, so it's got a little jump puzzle. Not being able to see, like, enemies' health. Well, in this case, you can see their health, but, like, their level. I was thinking, like, Octopath, you can't see their... Oh, Jesus, okay. You can't see their health. Is like, you know, if you're used to playing, like, Pokemon as your RPG of choice.
Well, that will help.
Longer shell. You kind of have an idea of whether or not you can just destroy somebody based on the level you see. You know, you have an idea how big their health pool is, how good their defenses are, stuff like that. But in this case, you just kind of got to guess.
An advantage.
I need a bunch of chroma. I just spent like 1,000,000 chroma on one merchant. And unfortunately, like it wasn't even like one of the later merchants. And so the one in Renoir's drafts, I need so much chroma to buy all that. Every Pictos he has is just like 100 to 150k. Wait, is there something up here? Am I missing something here? What am I missing about this area? That's weird. That there's just like a dead end with literally nothing. That clearly has... Maybe I don't know. It didn't even seem like there was a way to get down there. So I'm wondering if maybe we end up looping around and that's like an exit. Oh, that could be. Maybe we end up going high up and like one of those ropes drop down to it. Oh, I saw purple. It's kind of hidden over there, though. Oh, never mind. It was just the way I was looking at it.
Did that Nevron just kick a different Nevron off the tower?
Oh, did I miss it?
It looks that way.
Was it that one? Oh, there's a mine down there. God, there's still more mines? I thought we would have defeated them all by now.
Well, that will help.
Actually, I know that there's one mine that I completely missed. I don't even know if I can get it again. At the very, very, very beginning of the game.
Good stuff.
But I don't know if now that Lumiere is all, like, twisted, if I can actually... That frickin' prick.
Get up!
Alright. Let's assume this thing has a bigger health pool.
That's lucky.
Let's carve a path.
Oh, okay. So let's go ahead and... Of course I missed that.
Blades sharp. Firing.
205k. Not even... Oh, I didn't have Mael's stuff? Weird. Thing is, though, now that we have white hair, it's like, why would I ever go back to red? White is the supreme color. Although, her right now, I don't know how many white haircuts there are. I don't really have a haircut that I really like for Mael, is the thing. This is kind of the best I got. You have the one that she comes with.
Again.
But I prefer her with bangs.
That's lucky.
My turn. Phantom stars.
Oh, okay, I'm jumping way back here in terms of what I was referring to. So initially when I was talking about the builds, I was talking about, I'm not sure about this and this. I know that doesn't mean a whole lot, but anyway. Oh wait, I should go down there first. What I was going to say was, I don't know how Verso is necessarily going to work against like really strong single targets. I don't know how many of those there are in like the post game. Oh, is it taking me? Yeah, let's go down this way. But I don't have enough skill points for his, like, big final attack, which is, like, 13 hits. So that should fix that. You do have to... You normally have to wait a turn to use it. But because we have Cheater now, we can just cheat it and get those off immediately. So I think that should be able to fix it. Because otherwise... Right, like... Our ability here...
Show me what
is
you can
doing
do.
5 hits against 3 enemies. Right, so Phantom Star is doing 5 hits across 3 enemies and getting us to S. His, like, big ability that he has is, I believe it's 13 hits, so it's 2 less. So it might not get him all the way to S, but I'm hoping that it does. Because otherwise, as you saw with the mine, you know, we only go to B. Where's your thing? Gee, okay, are you... Wait, did you just bug out? Where am I supposed to be leading you? Is it back here? I saw it earlier, so let me get some height so I can see where I'm going. Oh, it's back there. Okay. So I'm assuming I probably got to come at him from this direction. Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
You could do better.
Let's just do this, just in case. So let's see here. Oh, wait, he just has perfect break, which puts him in S.
Break. Let's carve a path.
I'm a dingus. I put all the, like, I've played Versa so little. I went through, read everything, put it on, and then I just completely forgot what it all did.
Time to strike.
The dance.
That didn't even give me a chance to press anything. Oh, I think it's my stupid left... I think I need a new controller. I think my left stick, because it doesn't click anymore, I think the trigger is just, like, stuck half down.
Firing. Dance.
What's up, boys? What's up, boys? You got room for one more?
Did I die again?
You certainly did, Verso. You certainly did die again.
Ready.
Great.
I still hope that I can find the dancer costume for Mayal. Although I do really like this costume. I just wish I could get some white hair with bangs for her. And then she would just be like S tier design. Alright. I thought we were done getting doors, but apparently we got one more. Or one more that could potentially be... Oh, we got more journals. Perfect.
You speak to me of perfection, but is there really any such thing? Or is it a siren leading us astray? I happily predict that neither of us will ever summit that elusive peak, but I care little as long as we walk together. Art gives us the perception of control. For a moment as I paint, I find order among the chaos. That is, for me, a moment of pure contentment. And that is truly better than perfection.
Anyone ever think about how freaking good Andy Serkis is? Like, he's just unreal, dude. He's got such a good voice. It's just, like, not fair. And all this because Peter Jackson was willing to take a chance on Gollum. Man. Lord of the Rings is doing so much good for the world, man. Lord of the Rings is so freaking good. Once a year, I know it's really freaking long, but like once a year, I try and watch... Don't do it! I try and watch like all of the bonus features on the DVD, which is freaking long. It's something... I don't know. I think it's more than like 20 hours of content. But those behind the scenes are like just as good as the movies. I can't even imagine the foresight somebody must have had, because if you think about it, right? They took a massive... Is this the right way? Oh, right. He just respawned. Okay. Like, they took a massive chance with those movies, right? Like, back in the... I think it was back in the 60s, perhaps the 70s. Someone else actually wanted to make Lord of the Rings into a movie. And I'm glad they didn't, first of all, because there's like very little way you could have done it back then to any justice. But they wanted, I think it actually wanted to be made by the Beatles. Actually, just in case they have some weapon, I'll do some fighting. And I don't think anyone else like really could have done it justice.
You could do better.
It was just like so perfect the way they did that. But to think that they had the foresight to make like a 30-hour documentary of all the behind the scenes, when you don't even like imagine they did that for like Madam Web, right? Or not, I was gonna say The Room, because The Room is like a go-to bad movie, but I don't want to like that, because that movie has a cult classic, because it's so bad it's good.
Let's carve a path.
You know, it's a little bit different. But if you just did it for like a bad movie, it would be such a waste of time. But it's like they had the foresight to do it, and it was so worth it, because it was easily just like the best cinema is ever going to get. Perfection is boring. There's nothing left to do. No more fun finding ways to improve it. Yeah, for sure. I tend to get that. Towards the end of my RPG gameplays, I tend to find that. And that makes a lot of sense. I think, like, the most fun I have... You know, the most fun I have playing with RPGs is typically, like, 50% to 75% of the way through the game. So, like, in this game, it would be, like, midway through Act 2. Because that's when you have... It's really, like, when do you have the most tools available to you before you get the broken stuff? Right? Because once you get the broken stuff, you can just smoke... You just smash through content. Right? But it's really, when do I have access to the most tools available before it's broken? And that was kind of when I did the whole, you know, mid-game build. A little bit past then is when I would say it was, like, peak. Because right now, I'm just, I don't even have to think. I just press buttons. What's up, Pine Tree Face? Wait a minute, these... Oh, wait, are these Neverons? These aren't Jestrels, these are Neverons. Either way, why do they have people arms?
Vertigo, remember?
Shoot, I don't remember what side story we're doing, so I guess it must be Mael's side story?
His intentions are good, I know, but his methods...
Your father?
I'm the youngest, which makes everything worse.
Oh, I understand that. Only child.
Yeah, Claire's the oldest. She's just so perfect, so accomplished and talented. Papa's favorite. He's so proud of her. And Verso. Verso could always make Papa laugh. I had so many inside jokes. Then there's me.
And then there's you. The actual favorite. The one he calls his hidden star, but who's too shy and self-conscious to see it.
Yet here I am, messing things up even more.
Look around. He just wants you to fly.
This Orphelin is different from the rest. It does not sabotage, it builds.
All these inventions.
There was some...
Gustav would have loved to see this.
Gustav is not real. Okay, I guess it's not here.
Good stuff.
I have all these thoughts about, like, the reveals that we got at the end of Act 2. But from what I've learned so far in playing this game, is that I should likely not talk about things that I wish would happen, because they tend to happen right afterwards. Kind of like, yesterday, I forgot what it was. I think there was like a boss that we fought or something, and we didn't really get anything for it. And I was like, God, why did we do this boss? We didn't get anything. And then like 2 seconds later, right as I like turned around to walk away, there was something on the ground. Picked it up. I was like, oh yeah, that was pretty worth it. It's like, just calm down. Wait a second. Let the game play out. This is not a, you know, paint by numbers AAA game where they're gonna spoon feed everything to you. You gotta wait a second, let it marinate.
Good stuff.
Healing tints also apply shell. Blech. Blech. Oh, which way to go? I suppose since we're going up, or it seems like we keep going up, this time I'll go down, since down is probably the way that is not correct. And then later we'll turn around and go up.
Don't worry, I'm here. Show me what you can do.
Alright, so Verso's even able to do like 500k. And he's not really... I mean, he doesn't even take advantage of his perfection with his weapon. So he's not doing too bad.
Don't worry, I'm here. Ready.
Let's carve a path. Phantom style.
Okay, so that's the other path we could have taken.
What have we here?
Oh, no, I thought that was a little cave. What you got for sale, buddy? I don't know if I have enough to buy from you, to be honest. Okay, let's fight you first before I take a look. Okay, so we can go off with the send-off. Easy enough. Tier or so. It's a wrench? It's an ugly weapon. Anti-blight, immune to blight. Alright, well, we'll buy these. Expose and break. Oh, that one's super nice. Okay, so I need to put that on Verso, actually. Yeah, we'll grab all this stuff. I don't need the rest. Actually, I don't even think I have any more points. Yeah, I don't have enough points. Shit. And I have to unlock it first. We can take cheater off. Oh, wait, when did I get this? Yeah, that was the one that I was talking about earlier. I got it at some point. I don't remember when, though. Yeah, so we do expose and break. Let's also do Shielding Death. Where'd it go? I wish you could sort by not, like, not active. Or not unlocked for everybody yet. This might be going back down to where I don't want to go. Well, there is some chroma there, so we might as well grab that.
Lady Luck smiles today.
Kind of going too far in the other direction, though, I think.
You're outmatched.
An advantage.
Unless that was... Okay, yeah. So this just goes back kind of to where we were before. We snuck past that one guy. Wait, where am I supposed to go from here? Wait, is that a jump puzzle? Oh, no. It's like, what? Yeah, so that brings me back. Where does that bring me? Oh, that brings me to the door. Okay, so I need to go completely the other direction, ride the balloon back up, and then continue up the mountain. Here we go round the mulberry bush. The mulberry bush, the mulberry bush. Alright, so that's back the first way. So okay, so this is still technically going down the mountain. So we're still technically in the wrong direction, I think, from what I should be going.
Well, that will help.
And you know what's going to be sad? Is when I finish the game. Then what am I going to do? That's like the worst thing when it comes to good games is like getting to the end. Like, I want to get to the end, so my brain is always like, with anything. If it comes to TV shows or movies, I always want to know the end because okay, so we've gotten to the end of this area. Now we can finally go up the mountain. Because, like, my brain always needs to know the answers. I don't like not know. Wait, what the frick? Where do I go from here? Did my brain just, like, shut off? How did I get over here? Yeah, there's that. Okay, so I guess I have to go this way. Like, my brain needs to know the answers. I can't just, like, be in a situation of not knowing. And so, like, oh, we got to get to the end. I need to know. It's kind of what I used to do when I did read, which was quite a long time ago. I don't really read anymore. Hang on. This is where I came from. That's down. This is up. Yeah, okay. This fog is making it kind of hard to navigate. It would happen with books all the time, especially so. Like the big books that I read as a kid. Like I was big into Harry Potter, and so when I started reading them myself, because when they first came out, I was way too young to read them. So my dad used to read them to me as like a bedtime story, which is a crazy thing to do for a bedtime story for a kid. But I don't even remember when the first book came out. It had to be, man, it had to be in the 90s, right? Because the first movie came out in 2001, I think. So if that was the case, I was at least before 6 years old. I was born in 94. And so the first one that I read myself, I believe, was Order of the Phoenix. It might have been Goblet of Fire, but it was one of those two. And I remember specifically Half-Blood Prince. I read all in one setting. I basically had my parents drive me to my local, like, we went to a wholesale shop because that was the easiest place to find it. We couldn't find it at a bookstore. There was just a big pallet of them. I remember there must have been several hundreds of the Half-Blood Prince. Picked up basically right when the store opened, went home, read all day, and I think I was up until like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning reading, because I was like, there's no way I can put this down. Like, I just have to power through the whole rest of this.
Expedition 61, Margot. See, but I disagree. I don't think she's lonely. She's alone, but she's not lonely. They clearly have some sort of society here, and she's the odd one out. Well, except for her co-conspirator in the workshop. I've never seen creatures fighting amongst themselves before. I admit I'm impressed by her creativity and drive. I feel almost like a traitor for saying it. But there's something about her. You can't help but want her to reach the sky.
It's interesting that character is Irish sounding, not French sounding. It could very well be an Irish voice actor trying to sound French. But yeah, I think I stayed up till like 4 or 5 in the morning reading. Especially when you get to the end and there's that whole scene with Snape and Dumbledore and him getting blasted off a roof. And I still had like several more chapters and I was like, well, I can't stop. I think the same thing happened to me with like Stranger Things, the second season of Stranger Things. I remember it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I had just gotten, I think I had one more episode left, and I was like, because of course it was like, you know, midnight or 1. I was like, all right, one more episode. Like there's a, you know, there's of course there's a cliffhanger, and I was like, all right, one more, and then I'll save the last one. You know, I'll save the last one for tomorrow morning. And then, of course, you know, I forget what the cliffhanger was exactly. But, of course, there was no way. So I just powered through. I can't do it. My brain just won't let me. Even if I'm exhausted at that point, my brain's still like, no, like you're not going to sleep now. You need to find the resolution.
Great.
Oh, wait, what is that? That is completely different than anything we've seen so far in this game. It's all like bright colors. Is this a chromatic? It's chromatic bra.
Don't die next time.
Okay. Well, we're going to assume that this thing has more health. Okay, never mind. You're just 100% dead. Yeah, 70 million damage. That's okay. And we get a weapon that we already had. That's okay, though. Oh my god, this place is hurting my head. There's so many broken pathways just because of the nature of all this, like, broken wood. Got a little teepee up here. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember, like, the story, like, what we're supposed to be doing here. I don't remember the quest. So this is all just like, oh, yeah. We'll figure it out along the way. The Reacher. Alicia! Oh. Oh, is this where she's been hanging out?
Hello.
I wonder if she knows she's painted.
Alicia. Your letter.
Is it raining, or is there, like, weird graphical glitches going on here? Oh, no. Okay, it's just raining. Ooh, we're back to that black and white. So what is the actual meaning behind this black and white? Oh, I get... Oh, okay, right. That's when she's stopping time. Which is weird. She has the power to stop time? I guess maybe that's part of her power as a paintress? Although I'm not sure the actuality of how that works. Because if she's painted, does that not make her a paintress?
Doesn't she?
Yeah, that's rough.
You didn't deserve that.
Yeah, getting blamed for the death of your brother. And, like, she didn't even do anything. Like, well, depending on what happened with the other guild, right? Like, technically, you should blame the other guild. But then Versa stepped in to save his sister. Like, how would you possibly justify blaming Alicia for that? I guess just because she's going through so much grief that she just, like, doesn't even know how to respond. She doesn't know how to control her emotions. So who is this? Wait, is this isn't the Paintress, is it? She has the same hair, but she has a mask on?
Oh, you're the real accent.
Oh, that's right. That's right. There's a third
No,
axon.
Papa painted her.
That's why we're here.
So, you know who she represents? You like being here with her.
I thought they were going to transition her being not burned. Oh, we're doing a little one-on-one duel here. Unfortunately, Alicia is going to get smashed. Wait, so who does this one represent? Because of the 3 axons, we had the Mask Keeper, we had the Dancer, and now we have this one that's stuck in a chair. I'm trying to think of who they represent. Like, the Dancer potentially is the easiest one. My initial thought would be that the Mask Keeper was Verso, the Dancer was Clea, and then this one is Alicia. But Verso was the musical kid, so I kind of think the Dancer would be Verso. But then, like, who are the... Maybe the Mask one is Clea? I'm not sure how they stack up. Yeah, so do you just die to this? Yeah. We're just way too overpowered. Just way too overpowered right now. Oh, we got a new weapon, and hey, we got a new white haircut. Maybe that one is better than the one we have right now. Well, that's probably supposed to be a bit more exciting. Just get obliterated. I just don't know that I like the long hair on Mael. I want, like, short hair with bangs. Oh my god, I think I know why. Jesus, I just put it together. I just made Arya. I'm just making Arya. It makes so much sense now that I put it like that. It was just like the way she, like her facial expression just in that moment.
This represents his hope.
And the way her hair sat. I was like, oh, yep, that's her.
For me, then. Go. Claim your piece of sky.
Oh, wait, now she can manipulate time?
We both deserve to fly. Let me give you a new beginning.
Alicia.
Send me. To my
I don't know why that hit me so hard right there. God, this game. And so we say goodnight to Alicia. Oh, now my eyes are freaking burning. I think I still have some vinegar or something in my hand from lunch or something. Don't worry, there's something in my eye. Oh, man. Dude, when this game can make you feel for characters that aren't even real, holy crap. Alright. Well, we have to do this. So that compared to... Yeah. We'll pay tribute. Pay tribute to the real one. Well, not the real one. Not the real one, but, you know, the real one. Dude, there's something about, like, grown men crying that just always get me. You know what? You know what scene honestly gets me every single time? Is in Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, when not when Theoden finds out that his son died, but after the funeral, and he's talking to Gandalf, and he just says, what is it? No father should ever have to bury their child, and he just like starts weeping. That's like the saddest thing in all the movies. It's just the worst.
It's what she wanted. I honored her wishes. That's something neither you nor Renoir ever did. And not Maman either.
I didn't get to say goodbye. You didn't wait. You didn't give me a chance to persuade her.
She knew what she wanted. You wouldn't have been able to sway her.
She's not you. You don't know that. I know her better than you do. But you didn't even give me the chance to try. You just erased her.
Verso.
You've lost two brothers. You know what it's like to lose your sibling and never get the chance to say goodbye. You painters, you just do what you want. You don't care how it affects the rest of us.
I do care. I know you're hurting, but the person who made that decision wasn't me. It was her. Would have been wrong to deny her just so you could try and talk her out of her decision.
She's the last of my family. I have no one left now.
Yeah, that's a weird relationship. Because technically, like, you still have your dad and your sister, but they're not, like, he's associating the painted version of himself with,
me.
yeah, with
You
the
have us.
painted version of them.
Mile, I wasn't ready.
Don't understand. You were ready when you set Papa free. You expected that he would erase the canvas and everyone in it. Isn't that the same thing?
It's different. It's different. Why did she do that?
You know why. But you're right. I should have thought of you. I should have given you a chance to say goodbye. I'm truly sorry, Verso.
least she's free now.
Despite his frustration, Verso understands Mael's words. He appreciates that Mael is honest with him, and Mael empathizes deeply with Verso. Mael and Verso feel closer to each other. They sit in silence a little longer. This time, Mael conform. Words. Words. Okay, I lied. I really don't like this hairstyle on her. We're just going back to what we had before. Okay, so I got one more here.
Mael.
I'm getting quite tired. I can't.
Verso approaches Mael, who's staring at the monolith by herself.
The monolith looks strange without Mama or her number there.
It feels less oppressive.
I guess. I wonder what Mama's doing now. She must be so upset.
Yeah.
Claire won't be happy either. They're probably driving each other crazy right now.
Right, because she's outside. Yeah, she's
Although,
out of the painting.
I doubt Claire's been home much. Knowing her, she's probably hunting down the writers responsible for the fire.
Sounds like Claire.
Yeah. Barely saw her when I was home. She took Verso's death very personally. Well, we all did.
I've met her 3 times.
You have?
The first time was right after the fracture with Expedition Zero. She stopped us at the barrier.
She told you everything then?
Yeah. Then tried to kill us when we wouldn't go home.
Claire.
She found me years later and tried to recruit me. Then she found me again, 16 years ago. Told me to keep an eye on you. I think she felt you were safer here. Away from her war.
Wait. So, you've been watching me this whole time?
From afar. I'd slip back to Lumiere occasionally.
So, you knew where I was, and you left me there too?
I couldn't exactly take you with me, but I tried to look out for you. And once you left Lumiere, I stayed close. I cleared all the really dangerous Nevrons out of your path, and I pulled you away on the beach.
Alright, well that's how we got separated.
But you also let Renoir kill the rest of the expedition. You didn't help them.
There were too many of them to save.
I need to ask you something.
What?
You wouldn't lie to me, right?
I think we're well past that.
On the cliff. Gustav?
What is it?
Did you let Renoir kill Gustav? Could you have saved him?
Oh yeah, because he was there. He showed up right after. Oh, Jesus. Alright, truth time.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Why?
I was afraid. If you found out about the canvas and he was there, you would refuse to help me send Maman home.
Hang on, let me think about this. So, if you found out about the canvas, and why if he was there would that matter?
So, you let him die?
I'm not sure about that motivation, because Gustav wanted to basically kill the Paintress, so why would that change her motivation?
I did. I should have told you everything sooner, but I couldn't take any chances.
Thanks. Yeah. It looks bland without a number.
You're a paintress? Paint something.
How about, Papa, you go home?
Catchy.
Come on, let's do it.
My Ellen versus Bond is now unbreakable. Forged in truth. Wonder what happens if you pick lie. Probably nothing good. They head to the monolith and Mael repaints it, sending a message to her father. This adventure helped Mael better understand her painter side. They return to camp to the rest of the expedition. Well, actually, let's take a look at Gamage. What does that do? Is it the same as her? Doesn't she have an ability, Gamage? What am I clicking that for? Skill tree. Kills weak targets, otherwise deal extreme void damage. So I still have one more skill here. I wonder what that is. Maybe we find out after we beat Renoir. Maybe it's like a post-game thing. Okay, so now I think we have CL's thing to do. Oh, that's right. I have to do the duel for Esquier. Okay, let's do that. I think that I can beat Bulgara now. Wait, where is this? We're in Old Lumiere. Man, I've been flying around so much that I'm finally starting to get a grasp on where everything is. Oh, wait. If I'm going to do this, I need to change his weapon. Because his weapon's going to be real bad if I try and go in with this. But, of course... So, I'm going to have to find something... Oh, wait. I got to change my scaling, too. Okay, so since I have to do that anyway, I might as well just find a weapon and then respec to it for this fight. And then I can just respec back. Because I haven't respec... Well, for first, I don't really care about the damage. Let's see. Yeah, let's just do Contorso because it's already level 31. I don't have to worry about upgrading it. And then we want to do attributes. We're going to respec this later anyway. Yeah, it's fine. I'm thinking that this should be good enough, that our damage should be good enough to clear out Golgra. I don't necessarily have him, like, built for a solo fight, right? He's kind of like a buff build right now. But his damage has been fine so far. I guess the downside here... Maybe I take off auto death here. Well, he gets a bunch of buffs when he comes back, though. Because he gets powerful when he comes back. Oh, and I actually have to put that weapon on him. Oh, no, I already did. Right, like I was thinking maybe I keep second chance on, but then I take auto death off, so that way we get a free revive, or we just start with it. Oh, but then we can auto break. Yeah. This will allow us to get into S faster. Yeah, so we're just gonna keep it on. Hopefully that's enough.
I haven't been here in a while.
Oh my god, we get to see my favorite line again.
The sacred rip. Let's.
Manoko.
How did you?
Where is it? Fair point. It's a stupid rule.
You lead.
Oh, think twice.
I have already thought about it thrice.
I demand trial by
Cobra,
combat.
I demand a trial by combat.
I was hoping you'd say
I
that.
have to participate.
Please help me.
Still love that line. Still love that line.
My turn.
Dude, this sword is freaking sweet.
Let's carve a path.
Let's see here. Extreme light damage to all enemies. Very high lightning damage. Do you think Phantom Stars is better here?
Phantom stars.
Okay, that fight was much different than last time. Much different than last time. It's almost time for my squat session. It's leg day. Sorry I can't finish this fight.
Come on. You're just afraid of losing.
Manoko, please, shut up.
You did entertain me, so I'll let it slide this time, Manoko. Go ahead. Bring him back.
I won't say thank you. Thank you.
Oh, little Noko. Oh, wait, he does remember Manoko? I thought he would be completely different.
Oh, it's so good to hear your voice.
Hey, Noko. How's my favorite merchant?
Golgra.
Gogra? Are you crying?
I'm not. Can we go home?
Not yet, I'm afraid. We have a mission. Do you remember our expeditioner friends?
No.
They'll be happy to see you. They were very worried. Come, let's go back to camp. We found many treasures for you to trade.
Let me take Noko to the village. It's always disorienting for newly returned. Noko needs time to adjust. Noko, would you like to go back to the village?
But I'm Noko's guardian.
I know you want to keep Noko by your side, but it's safer there. You'll see Noko when we get back to the village.
Wait for me. I'll be back as soon as I can.
I wonder if he has new stuff that we can buy from him.
He'll be fine. Better than with you, that's for sure.
That he will be. Thanks for helping. I never understood how Golgra got so freakishly strong.
Man, I will say, the fact that you go from barely being able to touch her with damage, and she just one-shots you, to just literally the opposite is just freaking cool.
I could take Golgra by myself.
You did.
I will never show you weakness ever again.
Come on. Let's get back to camp.
So this must give Verso his last radiant attack? Or, no, it probably gives Minoko his last gradient attack. Because Eskie, I think, gave Verso his final gradient attack. At camp, Minoko sits by himself, thinking. Verso knows his old friend wants to talk, even if he is too proud to admit it. Verso approaches Minoko.
You okay? At least Noko is safe and can begin readjusting.
Every time he returns, he is slightly changed. I mourn the loss of who he was before, but he's still there. My old mentor.
Wait, Noko was Minoko's mentor?
Thank you, my friend.
Minoko seems about to cry. They've always been best friends, but Verso and Moko's bond grows even stronger from their adventure. Oh, we got one more for Minoko. They spend a bit more time together. As Verso cheers Minoko up, they return to the others.
So,
You're really...
I guess maybe it's just a final conversation.
well,
Close out their story. Verso approaches Minoko. He knows exactly what Minoko is thinking. He wants one final fight.
Noko always said that he didn't mind waiting in the queue. Why were you so adamant about bringing him back sooner?
there was never supposed to be a queue. Verso wanted us to experience the excitement of new beginnings. He gave us the gift of the river. Why shouldn't we use it? Noko found me after the fracture. Noko raised me, taught me, protected me. It's my turn to protect him. That's how it works.
Wow, that's wild.
He took care of me. Now I take care of him. Except I can't.
Because of me.
I know why you're doing this. And I know how it might end. I'm not gambling on tomorrow.
Minoko. Why help me then, if...
For Verso. And for you.
My friend.
Verso gave us many new beginnings. He would have wanted a new beginning for you too. You deserve a new beginning. If you want one. Every one of us does. Now come over here and let's snuggle.
Dude, I freaking can't. I can't even with this guy. How are you supposed to take him seriously? He's so just like set about his ways. He's so just like, this is the way it is. And then he's just like, well, snuggle. Give me that snuggle sesh. Like, oh my god, Little Spoon? Holy frick, dude. This
Obviously.
Minoko and Verso understand each other more than ever. Their bond they share is unbreakable. It makes so much sense when you understand that Minoko is the family pet. Because, like, that's exactly what it is, right? With my dogs, it's the same thing. It's like, you're just playing with them, and it's like, all right, let's snuggle. You're the Little Spoon. I'm just going to hug you. Their heartfelt conversation reminded Minoko that actually there is another skill he had forgotten. Yeah, there we go. There's Minoko's last gradient. They spend more time together being weird and sentimental before returning to the others. Okay, so
What
I
will you do?
think...
Well, so I could
Do you?
a painting.
Is there?
Yeah. And all the expedition.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so I think at this point... Well, let me check and see, have I done the other two? So Lune and CL, have I done theirs? Right, because CL's ending was us realizing, like, why she hates swimming. Yeah, okay, so I guess yeah, and then Luna's was, obviously, the victory of us finally creating a song together. So, that being said, I think the thing to do now is just to go to Lumiere. I can swap these out now. What did I have on here? I totally forgot what I had on here. Did I have Cheater? I had Cheater. And Energy Master is taken, right? Yeah, Energy Master I have on CL. It probably would have been... It's probably... I think it was Gradient Break. Okay, we'll take this weapon off. Go back to City Soak. Fine there. We're fine there. That being said, with his points... We need Shielding Death. We can take Glass Cannon off, since he's not really doing our damage. Don't really need that. Shielding Death. And then we can come over to Mael. We grab the Powerful Shield, which is what we were looking for. Now, at the start of battle, she's going to have 9 shields on her, so that's 90% increased damage. And I'm assuming that all these buffs are multiplicative. They've got to be in order to hit billions of damage. Which is, so like 90% extra damage is just freaking stupid.
Flashing through the sky.
Alright. Let's get her done. We've finally made it to the end. At least the main story, I think. I mean, this is at least the beginning of the end, I'll say that. There's still obviously more stuff to do. There's the Dark Gestural Arena, which is right over here. There's the tower we got to get done. I don't know anything about this tower, but it's massive. And I don't know if there are any other side areas that I need to complete, but I'm assuming we'll get to that.
Here we go.
All right. Potentially the end of a journey. Coming to its conclusion. Area is just covered in Papa's creations to protect him. They put her back in her original costume just for the feet lovers out there.
Wait for us here. It's dangerous for you near Papa.
Yeah, you don't want to get deleted, SKA.
We'll have to move fast. I can't maintain them for very long.
Oh, that's so sick. She just creates the army behind her. Oh, man. Just the imagery of, like, all that.
Tomorrow comes.
Oh, that's a freaking cool shot. That shot with the monolith behind her. Oh, dude, it's an all-out war. God, she's badass. All right. So badass, it broke the game. Dude, anytime there's a big event, this game just breaks itself. To be fair, like I said, it's not the game. Don't hate the game. Hate my computer. My computer just does not like Unreal Engine. I don't know why. It just does not like it. I wouldn't be surprised. I've brought this up a million times. I wouldn't be surprised if it's my RAM. I think my RAM's fucked. I tried to put it in an XMP profile, and it just like breaks everything. My computer takes like, 5 minutes to reboot. Yeah, and so I had to take it off, and I'm back on just a default profile. Oh god, I gotta fly all the way back there.
Taking to the sky. Woohoo!
So on the default profile, like, it works, but then I have like slower RAM. I don't know how much that actually matters, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's something tied there. Realistically, like, I probably need to rebuild, which sucks. Because the motherboard that I ended up buying does not work with the Elgato capture card. I have to worm restart like a million times for it to get registered. Or not to register, but to like register that it sees it. And then I would need to RAM, like... That's not fully rebuilding, but then I have to physically rebuild it, right? Because if I need a new motherboard, everything's got to come out, then everything's got to go back in, and that's just a huge pain. Alrighty here. Can you save? Sweet. We were literally like half a second away from saving. Oh, yes, dude. It's my... Oh, my God. It's the best music in the game. Okay, that was sick. Okay, I know we're kind of breaking from exploring here, but I want to see if there's anything back here. See? That's why we break.
An advantage.
These expeditioners are glorious wreakers of havoc.
Oh my god, get it. It's so good. Wait, can I destroy this? Do I get something?
Nice.
Nice. Hey, that was my line. 5 mail. Oh my god, it's a war. It's an all-out battle. Oh, give me that.
Good stuff.
Don't worry, I'm here.
Wait, why is Luna on the team? That's strange. Okay, so I gotta swap first back in. I don't understand how that happened at all. Okay.
Good stuff.
Grab that. I don't really need to fight any of these guys. It's all kind of a waste of time at this point. Oh, I see another shiny over here. How'd I miss that? I was just over here.
Useful.
Great.
Okay. Starting to think. I think I see a painted spire over here, so I'm gonna knock that out. Can I not? Oh, of course I can't go that way. Very old school in that way, and that there you can't just like freely walk around. Oh no, that's not a painted spire. Okay. It's my first time in your chat. I've seen your shorts, and now I asked me. Wait, I read your short, and now I asked, making me laugh, and also hope enjoyed your playthrough. Hey, well, thank you very much, Rosalie. Very much appreciate that. Been having a lot of fun with this game.
Here.
A lot of fun
Show
indeed.
me what you can do. Ready.
Okay, so we can just pass this off. We can go verso. Go ahead and break. Probably kill. Yeah, his damage is just absurd right now. It's just so good. Okay. Now I gotta... Dude, after every fight, I gotta, like, regain my bearings. A perfectly normal trash can. Indeed it is. Okay, we get our chroma. Well, where do I go from here? Oh, up this way. Okay. I think my chat is broken because it's not showing up on stream. Let me actually hold. Hold. I think I know what the issue is. Maybe I need to restore. There we go. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay. Maybe that fixes it. So from here, I guess oh, jeez. Oh, yes, get him. Get him. This looks like the correct way. So typically when things look correct, we then shift it up and we go the wrong way. Oh no, maybe this is the right way. I say that just because there's a flag here. Okay, yeah, that's definitely the right way. When the music changes, you know you're going the right direction. So let's turn around and actually go this way. Yeah, that told me everything I needed to know. Oh, wait, what does the monolith say now? Papa something. I didn't see what the rest of it said. Okay, are there any other chroma stuff around here? I feel like there's gotta be something down here. Yeah, the music is much calmer this way. Which I know that this is not the way you're supposed to go. There we go.
Nice.
Oh, this is where we started the game. I remember this when we were so innocent and naive about what was going to happen in this game. Does it say Papa Nation? There's no way that... Papa... I don't know what that says. Huh. Alright, well, we got the Pictus down here. Now let's go the other way to where the music is banging. It's so good. I've listened to that track probably. It doesn't seem, but it does say papa. Well, right. I know the first word is papa, but what's the second word? Yeah, I don't know why my chat's not working. I'm gonna figure that out after. I can still see it. It's just not popping up on stream for some reason. Oh, maybe I need to maybe I need to actually just reset StreamerBot. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, there we go. So now we can reopen. Give me 2 seconds here. Clients, I'll start. Okay, I think we're connected. We'll see if that fixed it or not. Yeah, there we go. That's how we know we're heading in the right direction. What are you doing on that side? I can't get over there, so... Oh, wait, I can get over there. Never mind.
Well, that will help. No.
Pop of a 10? What does that mean? Ah, there we go. Chat's working now. All right. So if that happens, I just need to restart StreamerBot. I might be French, but I don't know what that means.
Show me what you can do. Fill me in.
Okay, so I am fighting these guys because I know that the weapon I need for CL is over here. That is not it, though. So then I think it must be these ones. And then luckily we got a flag real close so we can go respec.
You're outmatched.
There we go. That's what I wanted. Tell me to do spoilers, I think, because I don't know what you know and you're generally asking, or you can't wait to find out. Oh, I mean, if I'm going to find out, I guess it's fine. I probably know the answer, to be completely honest with you. Like I probably know what the spoiler is, but if it's something, like, if it's part of the story, then we'll just wait to experience it. But thank you for, like, you know, actually saying, like, it could be a spoiler, so I'm not going to fully answer it yet. I appreciate that. Okay, unfortunately, we're going to lose our music here. Okay, so finally we get to get this stupid-looking weapon out of here. This one looks way better. So during Moon, all allies have greater rush. We start out by doing Sun, so all enemies have greater slow. During Twilight, all allies get greater rush. All enemies have greater slow, and then +3 AP on applying a buff or debuff. Yeah, which that doesn't matter all that much. Actually, yeah, that's pretty nice. So let's go attributes. Let's go ahead and... Do I even need to respec here? I mean, technically, if I wanted doing more damage, I could spec her into Might, but I think I'd rather just have the health, so we're actually good. Enjoy watching people, enjoy if I can help. I just don't want to understand. Yeah, no worries at all. No worries at all. Yeah, you know, it's one of those things where at this point, like, I know a lot. Like, obviously, I know the story up until the end of that. Well, up until the point that I'm at. There's some like endgame story stuff that I've kind of picked up on here and there, but I guess the weird. You know what the weird thing about this game is? And I say weird is more like, funny, like, not like it's a weird game in any sense. Is that what felt like the end of Act 2 felt like the end of the game. It felt like those were revelations that we would find out at the very end, and I was very thrown off when playing it.
Show me what you
because
can do. Me in.
I was like, this is the end of Act 2. We still have an entire act to go. So it's almost like this is an epilogue. As opposed to... Oh, I still have the wrong weapon on him. I gotta swap it out. As opposed to this being an Act 3. So, the way I'm feeling right now, in terms of, like, how much information do I know about the story, I feel like I know the entire story, right? But there's probably still a lot that I don't know about the overall narrative yet. There's still got to be other revelations that happen. I would assume it could just be a final battle here against Renoir.
Yes.
My own.
Oh, that's what happened. I was like, why can't I move? Because my controller just died. 2 seconds. Let me plug her in. I was like, I see that there's an area over here. Why is my controller not letting me go in that direction? Wow, that looks great. Just a black screen. Alright. There's nothing over here anyway. Wait, so there's Chroma back here. Is there no way to get it from here? Maybe I have to loop my way around. Because I clearly have to come from up there. But that leads that way? Not sure how to get that. Maybe it's a thing we have to keep progressing, and then it kind of loops back in on itself. Because we are turning that direction. Right? So if I were to line this up, it's still technically like right in front of me this direction. So maybe there's a way to get up on the buildings from here. Oh, Faded Boy. Yeah, so like, so for example, like, I still don't know what the story is behind all these Faded figures. So there's the young boy that we keep seeing. There's also, like, there's a bunch of other Faded people. I don't know what these, we don't know what these are yet. Isn't it beautiful here? Her paintings are always astonishing. Yet I wish you would understand. Understand what? Just what it means for me to paint. What do you mean? The boy has gone silent. The boy never says anything. Boy. Man, I wish my voice could go lower like Kratos. Boy.
What have we here?
When I was in high school, I always wanted... I listened to a lot of, like, emo music. So I always wanted my voice higher. So that way, like, I could sing higher like them. Because, like, that was the thing that was in. Was, like, you know, pinch your nuts and sing super high notes. But now... As a growing man in society, I wish I had a deep voice, a deep raspy voice, but I don't. God, that almost freaked me out. Hang on. Do we go this way first? Let's go this way first. There seems to be less action this way. But a fair bit of it seems... You're not wrong about the structure, but a fair bit of it seems you have to plug in yourself after finding out more things through the main things. They do tell you. You have to plug in yourself. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, for sure. I mean, this game isn't gonna like spoon food. Yep, that's a term. Spoon feed you info. right? It's not going to sit there and be, you know, Renoir goes on a whole speech, does all this like philosophical like riddle talk, and then CL's like, oh, Mael, you're a child, you don't understand. So what he's actually saying is this, but really he's saying it to the audience. You know, that kind of thing doesn't happen. Or they don't, characters don't go, like, he goes, oh, this is my master plan. He goes, so you mean your master plan is to kill everybody? It's like, yes. This game treats its characters as adults, as opposed to other RPGs when you play them and you're playing as like 15-year-olds, right? And so the game kind of has to contextualize the fact that you're playing as kids, and so it treats your characters as kids. In this sense, like, the game is actively, in like a fourth wall sense, is treating your characters as adults and letting them figure out everything, while you yourself as a player are also figuring stuff out. Which is nice. At the same time, I will say my brain has been taught over the past like 10 or 15 years by, you know, media that's just dumbed everything down to be like, man, just give me the deets. Just give me the exposition, tell me what's going on. But for the most part, this game does a really good job of explaining complex themes and complex story narrative without doing the beat you over the head with a stick aspect of exposition. You know, like, it happens all the time in movies, right? Especially when it comes to like sci-fi movies, where, you know, there's concepts and there's like different locations and different peoples and different like enemy factions and stuff that you don't get, right? And so they'll, you know, when they're strategizing their plans, they're all sitting around the table and they're going, burr, 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 on the transistor, and we're gonna send a hyperfuge to the was-nots, and, you know, they're gonna get exploded and vaporized, but then the has-beens are gonna take, and it's like all these things, and then, you know, you have the characters like, wow, so what you're saying is we're gonna go and blast them up, and then they're gonna be real angry, so they're gonna be angry at the people over here. It's like, yep. It's like, thank you. That's clearly for the audience. Stuff like that doesn't happen in this game, but you'll have, like, you know, 2-3 hours of gameplay later, they'll have the character themselves will have a realization where it's like, oh, wait, so you actually did this thing. So it gives the player time to digest information before the character in-game actually knows what's going on.
Welcome back. Show me what you can do.
You know, even, so this is something, they don't do this explicitly, but I've noticed it in some areas where, like, you know the trend about, like, the yellow paint? You know, games put in the yellow paint to tell you, like, exactly where you need to go or where you need to climb. And a lot of it can be, it can be immersive breaking, right? Because you'll be out in the middle of a jungle, and then it's like, oh, look at this mountain here. It has yellow paint all over the walls, or this tree is covered in yellow paint. I guess I can climb it. Like, that stuff is just, like, spoon-feeding information to the player, because it's like, oh, they're too dumb to realize that they can just, you know, climb up this tree. And then, while this game doesn't do that explicitly, I've noticed that there are some locations, like, obviously it's not doing it here, but out in the world, I noticed in the beginning that gold was a very common color, and it was kind of almost like a geode. It was just kind of like you just had like gold veins everywhere in the environment. But there were locations where there was gold in the rocks, like on the edge of a like a lip that you could grab to climb up. And it wasn't in your face gold, but it was just subtle enough that if you were looking for it, it was like, oh, that's a ledge that I can climb. So they're still doing things that help players understand what's going on. It's kind of a middle ground between doing nothing and doing too much, right? Because RPGs back in the day, I remember, would tell you just nothing, and you just had to figure things out. Versus nowadays, they just, you know, beat you over the head with it and make it as obvious as possible. And this one just kind of, you know, goes right in the middle.
The Opera House.
There's a journal near me? Did I already pass it? Yeah, because if I didn't get it, I definitely want to get all the journals. Let's see. Where could I go to find a journal? Maybe back this way? Oh, for sure. There were a lot of areas that I missed. I ended up going back. Maybe perhaps this way? I ended up going back and doing a lot of the first areas again and taking a look around. The ledge over by the big building on the right. The ledge over by the big building on the right. Like by the mansion? Okay, so go to the right. We go to the ledge. Oh! Okay, cool. Lumiere had suffered much damage. There's something in the water. Ask Esky to bring it to the surface. Cool, thank you. This is the Journal of Expedition 60, a legendary expedition known for its unorthodox tactics.
William, Expedition 60. They mocked us when we said the human body is the strongest of them all. We trained relentlessly, and now our bodies have achieved the pinnacle of human performance, with which we are able to crush our enemies. We are so much more agile and aerodynamic without the heavy uniforms constraining our glorious muscles. With Leslie's unstoppable training regime, we are impervious. That's how we were able to charge through that ghostly Gamage barrier and reach the Paintress. But it seems we've been wrong about what she is. The Paintress is just as trapped as we.
Wow, wait, so Expedition
The real
60 figured it out?
Lies beneath the monolith. The rest of Expedition 60 marched on to confront him, while I was tasked to warn Lumiere. But it seems I might have run out of time. One last swim separates me from Lumiere. But even with my mighty muscles...
This guy just sounds like Mike Guy.
So here I write my final message. Bare naked muscles will save the world. And don't waste time on the Paintress. Aim for the bottom of the monolith.
Man, so had he just gotten back... Actually, he was close. He's in the water. But all the way back 27 years ago, they could have had the info that they needed. Wait, hold up. I just missed that. Bare naked... They fought the Paintress naked? Wait, is that what that means? We're so much more agile and aerodynamic without the heavy uniforms constraining our glorious muscles. So they were just a big old naked battle. Okay, well, I get what they mean by unorthodox tactics. Oh yeah, this isn't the mansion. You're right. I was like, Opera House. Yeah. No, this is definitely, yeah, not the mansion. Yep, there was just big old naked fight time.
Nice.
Okay, so this faded boy is... Wait a minute. Is the Fated Boy Verso? Like, because all the Fated people that we've seen so far are related to the family, right? The Fated person that we saw, the woman, was the mom. The curator was Renoir. And now we're seeing this guy, this Fated boy, playing piano? Oh my god, that... Wow. Man, so that's like the real one trapped in here. Man, I'd have to go through again to read all the Fated Boy dialogue.
Nice.
To see like what clues are there. Man. Yeah, it's because I always thought, because throughout the playthrough, like, we were trying to figure out who they were. My last guess at what it was that they were people that were like stuck kind of in between, like a limbo, like people that Renoir couldn't fully kill. Right? Because like Aline is protecting people. So I thought maybe it was someone that she could only like half protect. But so that being said, they were still fated adults. Like there was a fated man at some point. So I guess I still don't know who that is. So all the fated boys were all the same. It was all Verso. It wasn't multiple different boys, which is what I thought it was. See, like this is actually a perfect example. Unless I missed something earlier, right? Which is completely possible. To me, this is the reveal of who the Fated Boy is. This is a perfect way to do it, right? Because it's not, there's not like, in any other game, what would happen is that right down here on the ground, it would say like, Verso's recital. And so it'd be like, oh, Verso plays the piano. That's Verso. But throughout the game, they've laid the narrative that, you know, Verso, like the real Verso, didn't really want to be a painter like his family. You know, he was more musician. When he was talking to Luna, he talked about how he loved playing the piano, how they should play together because she plays guitar. Like there was a lot there to kind of lean into the fact that Verso was more of a musician than he was a painter. The fact that at the end of Act 2, you know, Clea reveals that he only made the one painting, which we're in now. It's obviously showing that he doesn't really want to be a painter. And so we get here, and we get this boy playing the piano. The only real person that we've known so far to want to play the piano being Verso. And so this is like, you know, we don't have the version, like I said, where it says Verso's recital, but you take all those things together, put it together in this clearly obvious setting here, but without having to beat the player over the head and be like, this is the answer. This is just a nice little way to put it. I appreciate those kind of things where it's like, it's obvious what's going on if you're paying attention and you put it all together. Like if you weren't paying attention and you were just flying through the info, that little set piece wouldn't mean anything to you. But you put all the pieces together, and as long as you've been paying attention, it's clear enough that you know exactly what it means.
Islands. What are they doing here?
Like Axon's their papa's creations, not Claire's.
Like a phoenix.
Okay, I think I'm actually gonna...
Let's cover path.
Just kind of speed through this here. I don't know if Verso can still kill these guys. Okay, yeah, he's still much, much stronger than we need to be here. This is fighting the Elite Four the first time, and all your Pokemon are level 100. That's what we're doing here, basically.
Perfect.
Okay, let's double check. Double check over here.
I'm back. Your turn to shine.
Let's have some fun. Some stars.
Yeah, unless I get a lucky hit here. Oh, I got one. That's all I needed was one lucky hit to kill the flyer.
Wow, wow.
Healing stun recovers 5% on hitting a stunned target. Eh. I'm not super worried about like unlocking the Pictos right now. That's something I'll do later. I'll just go, you know, farm some healing enemies, unless it's something that I need.
Reborn once more.
Oh, well.
We just pass this off now. And he smokes everybody.
Some stars.
Whoops. I haven't been in here for the whole playthrough. I do ask, why are you using Autodeath? Not saying it's bad, just what are you going for? Sure. So initially what I was... Well, I'll kind of contextualize it, so that way you have a little bit understanding of how I got to this point, and maybe that'll help a little bit. For me personally, my brain works like that. So once I got to Act 2, the build that I was using was a lot more of a balanced build.
Let's go.
So Mael was just kind of a general damage dealer, really good for getting into virtual stance and using like per se as kind of her main damaging ability, which was pretty strong. We had some other things. I was using like breaking rules to take shields off, which I still have. But she was just more of a general damage dealer, not like a heavy hitting like hyper carry, which is kind of what she is now. Although we're not really seeing that because Verso can just kind of kill everything. I had Luna here, and I still have her build here, that I was doing Elemental Trick and Genesis. So basically, oh, the other thing I had on Mael was before I had this weapon, because if you miss this weapon early on, you have to wait till super later to get it. I was using Brularum, which critical hits apply burn. So she was, because I could get her crit to 100%, she was basically always applying burn, which meant that basically Luna there, get her to 75% crit, give her the Pictos that you get 25% extra crit chance on burning enemies, which is 100% crit chance. So we could go Elemental Trick, which does damage of every type. On every crit gives you a corresponding stain. So we could build up one of each type, go into Elemental Genesis, which can only be cast if you have one of each type. And it dealt massive damage. So for most of Act 2, she was actually our hyper carry and could just obliterate anything. And then CL, I was playing with the Chadian, paired with the Card Weaver ability, which would basically put 10 foretell on everything. She plays a second turn, and then I had all the like pass AP off to allies, heal allies, Dark Wave for big damage. So it was much more of like a mid-range build where everybody was kind of doing everything well. And so what ended up happening is once I got into Act 3, we got the we got these top 3 abilities for Mael, which are her Paintress abilities. They are all especially Standall, which did get nerfed, right? And so did her Metalum. This also got nerfed. Once we got those, she became the powerhouse. She just outscaled everybody in damage. And so it didn't really make sense anymore to have Lune doing like her nuker build, because she was just like, we were working too hard to get Genesis going, and it just got outclassed by Mael. So there was really no reason to do so. So I was trying to think of like how to use her, and ultimately for the time being, I couldn't really come up with anything. I'm still going to try and figure out what I would want to do with her if somebody wanted to use Lune instead of Verso, because I didn't use Verso for all of Act 2. So in trying to figure out what I wanted to do with Mael, because she's not applying burns anymore, so she's not really allowing us to get to 100% crit rate, but we've gotten to a point that our Pictos now allow us to get to 100% crit rate. We don't really need burn anymore. So that then led me, because I already wanted to do an auto death build. Initially, what my plan was to have the main the three girls be my main team, then have Verso be basically a solo carry at the end of a fight. Like, let's say I get to a boss and I get him down to like 10% health. My team wipes, and I need Verso to finish it off. I don't really like Minoko. I haven't played Minoko at all, so he doesn't have any of his abilities. He's pretty worthless in a fight. So I would give him auto death, give him all the buffs that give him all the things that pass off buffs when he dies. So then Verso could have all of the solo Pictos, and then just be a lot stronger by himself than he would be on a team, and see if he could eke out like that last little bit of damage I needed, if I need it for a boss fight. So I took that theory, added it into CL, and because her damage wasn't even coming close to Mael, I was like, all right, let's just go all in making Mael super busted. So that's why we have Fortune's Fury to double her damage. She was already doing like 1,000,000 damage per hit. So I was like, all right, well, let's just double it. And that's pretty much like all she's kind of here for. We have I have dark cleansing here, just like in case I need to like take burn off her. Like that was something that screwed me over in a couple fights, because I also, with Mael, I needed a way to get her into Virtuo stance more consistently. Since we weren't applying burns as often as we were in the Act 2 build, I needed to use things like burning canvas in order to get burn on, which is then putting me in offensive stance, and I was just switching stances too much. So instead, we go last chance, which drops us down to 1 health. So unfortunately, like if we're burning, not so good. So I need a way to get burn off her. And so really, it just came down to that. It came down to the fact that I could get her stronger by putting shields on her. And so when Verso and CL die, we can put on, I forget what they're called, but it's the shield on death. Shielding death. On death, allies get 3 shield points. So basically, that's 30% extra damage for Mael. Because Mael, since we got it today, has... Which one is it? Which one is it? Something shield. Not shield affinity. Powerful shield? Wait, do I not even have it on her? I didn't even put it on. Oh, I think the game crashed. That's why. So now she gets 10% increased damage per shield point. So when both Verso and CL die, they both put 3 shields on her, giving her basically 60% extra damage from that. Also, obviously, since we're at 1 HP, the shields are really nice to not have us die. We could do... There's another one here. I forgot what one it was, but there's one that says you deal like 30% more damage, but if you get hit, it takes all your shields off of. So technically, if I want to do more damage, I could add that on, but I don't really want to. I get hit too often. But honestly, this build does just... Mael does so much damage. And so that's really how I got here, is that Mael was just outshining the other two, and so it didn't make sense to have them be damage dealers in the sense that they were in Act 2. So we just changed it up a little bit. Took an idea that I was going to use for kind of a second team and just made it work on this one. Do you have the 50% more damage when at 10 health? I believe so.
That's lucky.
At this point, I have most Pictos that could increase... I guess unless I don't have it. I think there's still like I think there's still a couple Pictos that I need to pick up that I don't have yet that I saw on the wiki when I was looking through them. But obviously, I'm also still limited by my Lumina points. Like, she has a ton, but I'm still limited. Oh, the other nice thing that I ended up doing. So one of the big restrictions that I had Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm all turned around now. Sorry, hang on. Let me figure out where I'm supposed to go. Am I going down this way? Yeah, I don't think I've... This doesn't look familiar. One of the other things that I wanted to try and solve... Oh, no. That's the Opera Hall. Okay, so now I know the direction I'm going. One of the other things that I wanted to try and solve was AP. Because at the start... So when you start fights, right, I was using a lot of the energizing starts, and unfortunately they get expensive. Like, energizing 1 is fine, but then once you start getting, like, energizing start 4, and it costs 20, like, you're talking a lot. Like, energizing start, you know, 3 and 4 being 30 points total. That's a lot, especially when you start getting Energy Master, Cheater, like, all those things cost 40. So, with this...
An advantage.
What's the... Again, forgive me, I forgot what they're all called, but there's the one where when you come back, you give, is it Aegis Revival? You give AP, on death, 4 AP to allies. So, between, but I think that just works for... Yeah, Energizing Revive, there we go. So that allows us to give full AP at the start to Verso and CL. And of course, with Energy Master, this makes it +4. So you go from... So you start at 3. You gain additional 3 from this, plus the +1 from Energy Master, which is 4. That brings you to 7. And then at the start of your turn, you gain 1. Energy Master increases by 1. That brings you to 9. So basically, Energy Master we already want, because basically every turn we're getting 2 AP rather than 1. Whenever we parry, we're getting 2 rather than 1. So it's one we already want. Even if we weren't doing this auto-death build, we would still want this. And if we weren't doing auto-death, then we'd need all the energizing turn starts in order to get AP at the start. But here, rather than spending... Let's take a look here. Rather than spending the 5, 15, 30, 50 Lumina to get 4 just at the start, instead, we can do this for 5. So that basically saves us 45 Lumina points. And so that was also a really nice benefit to doing it. The potential downside being that your second chance that you get when you revive them is you can call it wasted.
What have we here?
In case there are fights that go longer, you're not going to have the second chance for the revive because you use it right at the beginning. Again, I'm going farther than I need to. But it really doesn't matter. Sorry, I'm getting so turned around in these maps. Okay, so this is the direction I do need to go. Like the way you put your build together. I made my build for Verso to put statuses and use base attacks and build Gradient with his skills. Then maybe use Gradient attacks and repeated. That's initially what I was going to do. I was initially going to have... Maybe I should continue. Continue what? Forever. Forever. The boy's gone silent. Initially, I was going to have Verso be my status supplier. So kind of like what Mael was doing. You know, just have him crit a lot, have him burn a lot. I just never really found the time to add it in. And it was one of those things where, like, at the time where I was thinking I wanted to do that, I really wanted to play Luna. Like, I just like all the girls. I like playing all the girls. I wish that Luna had, you could still obviously make this build work with Luna, right? There's no reason that you couldn't. The downside with her though, and let me just double check, make sure I'm not just talking out my ass here. All right, let me take a look here. That doesn't. Is there anything down here? Mayhem is single target. Single target. Single target. Yeah, so the downside with Luna here is that she doesn't have an AoE break. I think Verso might be the only one with an AoE break. Which is... Well, I mean, Radiant Slash does do it, but that's not what I'm using. Phantom Stars. So I think, unless I've glanced over something, I think this might be the only AoE break ability. And so because we can break enemies when we revive, or when we die, excuse me, we can break them all, get them stunned, and then just do big damage with Mayo. You can either change the build slightly and hold the second chance, or be so great it doesn't make a difference. Well, if you hold the second chance, though, the thing about that is, because if you take it off, your units are just going to stay dead. So that kind of defeats the purpose. And if you're not doing the second chance thing, well, then your units aren't dying, and then so you're not applying buffs, you're not applying shields. So you kind of need it. So realistically, you're using the second chance to apply your buffs, apply your shields to Mael to increase her damage, and then from there you just play normally. Dude, my brain does not navigate this place well.
Good stuff.
I don't know why, I'm just getting so turned around here. After all this mess that's happening, I was the only one curious enough to make the journey here. But this place is sad. Nope. We should smoke them. Change my status for second chance because of where I am in the game. Getting bullied bad. Well, so that's the thing, right? Is that you have to contextualize like where you are in the game. There are certain builds that are just not going to work if you don't have the right pickups or the right weapon. You know, you can definitely try and make it work. Increase damage on full health. Interesting. Okay, let's get these Luminas. Grab the weapons. Oh, this is lower level than the one I already have. Okay. You know, you can, like, trust me, I certainly tried it. I tried to, like, force a build, and it just wasn't working. So instead, I had to try and find builds that worked for the tools that I had. And ultimately, it's like, do you want to have a half-assed build that has an idea that you could make work, but you just don't have the tools for it yet? Or do you do a fully powered build with the tools that you do have? And ultimately, you know, using... It's kind of like using 100% of 100 or using like 30% of 200. It's like, which one is actually better? The 200% build or the 200 build is, let's say, maybe twice as strong as the 100 build, but you only have the tools to utilize 30% of the power. And so ultimately, although that math doesn't work, because then you're still at 60 over 50 of the 100 build. But you get what I mean. Quick math did me dirty there. 20. Let's say 20%.
Oh, lovely.
What's going on here? Got some Nevrons. Oh man, is the final battle gonna take place underneath the Eiffel Tower?
I can't sustain the expedition as much longer.
That's so French.
Ned, we need to defeat them fast.
Oh, purple.
Nice.
I'd say 30% at 200 instead of 30% at, well, that No, what I was trying to say is that like using the numbers didn't make a lot of sense there. But what I was trying to get at was like if build A, let's say, has a power level of 100 and build B has a quote unquote power level of 200. Let's say like optimal damage output, right? Hypothetically. And you have all the tools. Oh, no. Okay, I see what I did there. So, build A has a potential power output of 100. Build B has a potential output of 200. Right? Just arbitrary numbers. But you have 100% of the tools to make 100 damage work, and you have 30% of the tools to make the 200 build work. Well, ultimately, you're going to do 100 in build A and 60 of build B. Even though build B has twice as much damage output at full potential, you're still not getting what you need out of it. That's what I was trying to get at. I just used the wrong number for the 100.
Here we go.
Let's carve a path. Break.
I used the wrong ability. It's fine. He still gets obliterated. Yeah, see, I mean, I didn't even double her damage and she did 5 million. Okay, I'm assuming there's probably... Oh, no. They set me up! They've been telling me that there are purples in all of these things, and all of a sudden there's no purple.
Lady Luck smiles today. Show me what you can do.
Alright, we can just pass.
You're outmatched.
There we go. So, like, Verso, for example, going back to, you know, how the builds were working. Like, obviously, Verso right now is not built for damage on his own, right? The whole point of this is that he's getting his rank to S, and then with the weapon he has, he's passing off that bonus to Mael. But, like, I just have them all so over-leveled now, we're just killing everybody here. But, if you take a look at, like, his numbers that he just got, right? Granted, like I said, he's not built for damage, but... he just did 200,000 damage, 250,000 damage there, whereas Mael is doing 5 million. And again, granted, we're using an AoE hit versus a single target, granted nerfed multiplier, but still busted multiplier attack. But it just doesn't make sense in the grand scheme of things to go ahead and try and make that happen.
Ready to strike.
I think it distributed their level points too wide. Potentially. I mean, I did the same thing, you know, when I was for a lot of the game. Like here I have everybody stacked in terms of their damage attribute points. But for a lot of the game I had it spread out you know, between like four different stats. I had a lot more pumped into like health and defense than I needed. But I mean, that's pretty natural. Like when you're playing through the game, you don't have all the tools you need. And so you gotta help keep yourself alive somehow. Even though, technically speaking, if you play perfectly, you don't need any defense because you just dodge every attack. But obviously that's not a reality, right? You're going to get hit. And in a lot of cases, when I was getting hit, I just died. So I spent a lot of points pumping up my health, pumping up my defense.
Must have been extra inspired.
The most enticing.
Okay, so this one in the middle, I actually know that Versa's probably not going to be able to kill. If it's anywhere close to Renoir's drafts, he has way too much health for Versa to actually kill. Okay, probably not as strong. I have a feeling that Renoir's drafts might be like a after you beat Act 3 type thing, because we have the enemy is just never going. they're never getting a turn. Yeah, okay, this one is not as strong. And so there we have 83 million. Faster than strong. Always play twice in a row, but deal 50% less damage. Oh, how much is that one? I bet, you know what? I bet that's better than Cheater. For what we need on CL. Where is it? Faster than strong. Oh, right, I can't see because I don't have the Luna for it. Alright, well, I'll work on that after the fact. It's not so much of a big thing right now. 82 mil, not that bad. But I know there are people hitting way bigger than that. We have not even scratched the surface yet of damage. Oh, there we go, over here.
Oh, lovely.
That's what multiplying damage does versus additive. It just makes it stupid.
Papa's over there. And the chroma we need to bring back Lumiere.
Even I can sense him.
We'd better make sure we're ready.
We've basically just turned this into Dragon Ball Z. They can all sense each other. Feel like I'm not really out here gaming for real? Hey, no, everyone starts somewhere. Only a couple days ago, my male was only doing 10k damage. So, it really does... Oh, I can't do any more. Damage snowballs 100%, right? Like I said, just like 2 days ago, my male was doing like 60k damage on her big hits, right? So once you start getting all the pieces together, it's gonna snowball and you're just gonna go wild, right? Because they're again, I haven't confirmed this, but I have to assume that damage is multiplicative, and so you get to a point, right? Like you can think of it like numbers. Let's say your base is, oh boy, I'm gonna really screw myself here doing quick math, right? Let's say your base damage that you're doing is 10k, and you do 10% more damage, right? Okay, well now you're doing an extra 1,000 damage. It takes you up to 11,000. And if it's additive, every 10% you do is doing another 1,000. So you're going to 11,000, 12,000, 13,000. But if it's multiplicative, then you take 10% of 11k. So now you're doing 11.1. So you add that on. Now you're up to, what, 12.1. You take 10% of that. So you're at 1.21. Well, now you're up to 13.2. Like, it's going to constantly... And obviously that gets bigger the bigger numbers you have. And we're not adding 10%. We're adding 90%. We're adding 30%. Like, 50, we're adding big percentages. So it starts to snowball, right? Because once you're at, like, 50 million damage... Well, multiplying by another 100%, okay, it explodes. Just like with, like, exponential growth, it explodes. For my sake, and theirs. The boy has gone silent. Alright, come on, Papa. Let's put you back in your Papa place. Yeah, the final battle takes place at the bottom of the Eiffel Tower. The sad thing is we're probably not going to get to see the fight. Because we're probably going to just one-tap him. Just donk him on the head. But I'm here for the story. I want to know what happens.
Papa?
Alicia.
Please. I just want you to understand what this canvas means to me.
I do understand. I know how powerful and intoxicating it is.
Man, he doesn't even sound
How
like Andy
deeply
Serkis.
attached we can become to the worlds we pour our hearts and souls into. I was enthralled, and it nearly killed me.
It doesn't mean you have to erase Verso's canvas.
Child, do you think I want to? After all the sorrows we've endured, do you really think that I want to destroy this last piece of his soul?
Then don't.
Life keeps forcing cruel choices. We do what we must.
Grief often blinds us, and we make choices we can never take back.
You grieve for two.
I grieve for many.
The choices of parents leave indelible marks upon their children. But ultimately, the voices in their head have to be their own.
Pray, 'cause they're spinning like a carousel, circling the drain.
You cannot set the boundaries of their life for them.
After the fire, you wanted me to find new joy in life. And I tried. But I couldn't. Verso died because of me. How do I get from that to joy?
Child, it will get better, I promise you. But this is not the way. Your friends speak truth. And it changes nothing. You can hate me. But that's a choice I must make. As your father, I must look out for you. Especially when you can't look out for yourself.
You treat me as if I'm still 5!
I treat you as if the shadow from the worst day of our lives is going to suffocate you and take you from us too! Enough. I said enough.
She's ready to kick him out. God, this music is so fucking good. I want to know who this vocalist is. He doesn't get a lot of time in the game, but good lord, his voice is good. Avengers! Assemble. Here we go. Oh, God.
Phoenix.
Unfortunately, you're about to get blasted into oblivion. But,
Show me what you can do.
I mean, you showed off your aura. You looked cool. I don't think it's gonna matter much in the end.
You're outmatched. Careful now.
Yeah. My weaker character just one-shot you.
Stop this insanity. It's time to go home.
Alright, phase 1.
I do love a challenge, but this is beginning to irk me.
Fuck. He keeps regenerating.
Maybe we focus on the accents first.
The devil's anus.
She can't.
Wait, is Alicia back? Wait, no, she can't be. Is it Cleo? Cleo?
Mama.
Oh, it's... Oh, Aline's back.
Aline, you're going to kill yourself. It's too soon for you to return to any canvas.
Oh, interesting. So you can't just, like, jump in and out? Or maybe she used up too much energy, like doing the first time? Oh my god, are we gonna get a kaiju brawl? Dude, it's so Final Fantasy. It's so Final Fantasy. Just the final fight just turning into a massive kaiju fest. It's giving me Final Fantasy. It's giving me Power Rangers. It, like... right? And now the Megazords have failed. Or not failed, but they've done their duty. Now it's time for the Power Rangers to come down and finish what they started. Alright, sorry buddy, but you still got all your debuffs on you. Like, it just wasn't meant to be. Oh, he technically didn't die.
Ready to strike. Break.
Oh, maybe I have to get to... Oh my god, do I have to get to his turn for him to act? Or is he just not going to do anything?
Ready.
I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing here.
I can do it.
Like, if he's supposed to go, it's going to take a long time.
Lost chance. Ready to parry.
Oh, here we go. Okay, this is probably what we were waiting for.
This selfish Aline!
Whoa, wait. So this is... Yeah, okay. So I was going to say, because we found this painting and brought it back into the manor.
Put aside the canvas. It's killing you both.
Not this time.
Yeah, get him, Ale. Dude, it's so cool when they do these, like, it's not quick time, but when they do these little cuts, it's so good. It's got like those little anime moments in there too. I mean, come on. This might be an FRPG, but at its heart, it is a JRPG.
saved me when I lost myself in a canvas.
Jesus. So that opens up a whole new layer to this. Because like, so the assuming I'm going to let him cook for a little bit. But the whole like yin and yang of this story, obviously being Aline kind of trapping herself in here, not like actually trapped in here, but she just wants to be in here to be a part of with her son and her family, the last piece of her son. And when you finally get the revelation that Renoir is trying to get her out, right? Trying to force her out, basically saying, hey, your grief, I get all that, but this is not the way to mourn, and trying to, rather than like talk her out of it, trying to force her out of it and being like, look, you got to get over your grief now, which is not exactly a healthy way to go about it. But at the same time, the way that she's going about her grief is also not a great way to go about it. And now we learn that it's not just he's assuming that this is going to be bad. He has been there before. He was stuck in a canvas. And so he knows what it's like. And now that is why he's going through all this. It's not just like he's this hardened dad figure. You know, he's not the like the tough, stereotypical like military dad, right? Who's like no emotions, no feelings. You push all that shit down and you deal with it like a man. No, he's like, I have been here before. I know what it does to a person. It's not healthy. And I don't want to lose you guys too. I already lost my son. It just adds like a whole nother layer to this character. Like initially you think he's just a bad guy because he's the guy who kills your expedition on the beach. And then you learn that like, no, he's a father that's trying to save his family. But then you think, man, he's kind of a hard ass dad. He's not really letting his family be, grieve in their own ways. He's trying to force them into a situation that they don't want to be a part of. And now you realize that it's just like, it's not all black and white. There's layers to everything.
She taught me how to safely use our gift.
Yeah, it's probably, honestly, it's probably a little bit like the movie Inception, right? So if you remember in Inception, before they actually went in and did the whole mission, they found the guy with the glasses who taught them, like, if you go in super deep, you basically get to the state where you can't even wake up. And so you have all these older people down there who are basically on like life support, essentially because they've been dreaming for so long. They're just like stuck in this asleep state because they are happier in the dream world than they are in the real world. And so it seems like Renoir was kind of like that. Before he knew kind of how to use his powers properly, he got into a canvas and was like, this is just better than reality. I just want to stay here forever.
How to soar without flying too close to the sun. We painted hundreds of canvas worlds.
Actually, now that I think about it, this is literally just the story of, this is like very close to the story of Inception.
Of creation. And she never let me forget that every day we spent here has a price.
Right, it's very much like DiCaprio and Marion Cotillard's characters. How they spent all this time building these dream worlds, and eventually they forgot they were in a dream. And then once they actually woke up, they realized that they preferred being in the dream world.
Now.
So trust her. If she's doing this, then...
I trust what she taught me. This is not a game. You think you know what's at stake, but you don't.
I know precisely what's at stake. You want control. You want to feel like you're doing something. You couldn't save Verso, so you want to save us. Except you're not. Destroying the canvas won't help us move on. It'll just deny us the one place that helped us feel again.
67 years. 67 years I spent trapped within the monolith. But I persisted. I persisted. Do you know why? Do you know why I cannot leave her or you behind? This is what I see every day. I cannot spend another day with living corpses. Since the fire, our family has crumbled. Aline in the canvas. Clair fighting a solitary war. You, a living ghost. Verso's death broke us. Want it to be fixed. I need it to be fixed. I cannot lose you too.
Don't you see? That's how I feel about them. I can't lose them either. I've lost too much.
Wait, so is that Aline in the real world right now, suffering because like she's been in the canvas?
I've lost so much.
We both lost so much.
Papa, I don't want to lose you either. I'm not leaving you forever. Just a little longer.
I want to trust you, but
You can.
keep the light on for you. I hope you find peace. Hold on to each other.
I don't think you can go that way.
Verso!
I'm sorry.
If that's the outside of the... Oh, wait. So, is there like a middle area? Because I think this is where Alicia was when she got repainted. Or painted over. Okay, still looking for... Still need a few answers here. A few more things that I'm still not putting together. It's time to stop painting.
tired of painting, aren't you? I'm tired too.
That's... You shouldn't be able to be here.
Mamon's gift.
Why did you run in? It's dangerous for you here.
See things as they are. Not how you want them to be.
What?
You lied to your father.
No.
He saw it too. But he wanted to believe. You're going to die here. Why don't you just leave? You can always come back.
The moment I leave, Papa will erase this canvas.
This is not worth your life.
What life? My life of loneliness in a shell of a body, with no voice and no future.
You're my El. No matter where you are, you don't need this canvas.
But everything I want is here. Here I have a chance to live, Verso to live. Out there I merely exist.
Life keeps forcing cruel choices.
Stop quoting Papa!
Got in out of rough time, Jake.
Stop painting.
We're going through the end story, and it's hitting.
Verso! Papa also said, hold on to each other.
I mean, I think males.
I'm sorry.
They're all so good. It's hard to pick, but oh my god, we have to. Oh, Jesus Christ, we have to fight Verso. There's just like layer on top of layer on top of layer to these last few conversations that we've had. So to kind of catch you up here, you might already know this because I know you, like you said, you were 100% caught up on spoilers, but basically we came in to fight Renoir, and the big thing that he kind of revealed to us, it was kind of a passing line, but Aline is the one that taught him about how to like control the painter powers. And he kind of revealed the fact that he had gotten trapped inside of a painting. So it was kind of like an Inception situation where kind of like we're in here where Aline has trapped herself in a painting and he's trying to get her out. He kind of got caught in this limbo of the painting, wanting to be in there, and she kind of came and pulled him out. So he has this understanding of what it's like to want to just remain in here and just live out your life in the canvas, because it can be whatever you want, but it's not good for you. It's not the real world. And so he's trying to force like the process of grieving of his daughter and his wife like as fast as possible and get them out. And so Mayel, or Alicia, was like, give me a little bit of time here. Like, I care about these people. I've been with them for 15 years. I get that my life's out there, but... And so he was like, all right, I'll leave the lights on, which is, you know, kind of like that, you know, the line that dads give to their kids, like, I'll leave the light on so that when you come home, you got the light on. And so Versa's kind of realizing, like, she lied. She plans to live out the rest of her days in here, because outside She doesn't feel like herself anymore. You know, she's all burned up. She's got no voice. She's hurting. And she wants to just live out the rest of her life in here. Oh my god, I get to choose. Keep the canvas. That's what I assume this choice is. It's either keep the canvas or destroy the canvas. Use it as a tool. Yeah, I know what the right choice is, but I went with the better choice.
Stop him from painting.
Don't say that. Please, don't say that.
I've been Team Mayel for too long.
Listen to me. Only you can do this. You can do this, please. Unpaint me. Unpaint me.
So,
Please. I don't want this life.
stop saying that.
I don't want this life. I don't want this life.
I just wanted to live this lifetime together. This lifetime that was stolen from us. Please. Run. Please.
I don't want this life. Help me. Help me.
If you could grow old, would you find a reason to smile?
I mean, I guess the question, like, you know, the decision comes down to, are you going to basically leave and allow Renoir to destroy the painting and force everybody to let go? Or do you allow the painting to survive and allow yourself to use this to deal with your grief, to escape from the reality of life? But at what cost? Are you going to fall to the temptation? You know, are you not going to allow yourself to go back? Baby Verso. Ciel got her husband back. She fixed the world. Gustav.
Clair obscur, guardé aux peintures. Clair obscur, guardé aux peintures, trouvera sans elle.
Oh my god, did he get rewritten? Jesus, that I didn't jump, but my heart is now going about 50 beats faster. A cursed existence. God damn. That was a hell of a game. Yeah, I do really get the spooks. Yeah, so I guess I didn't fully understand, like... So did she basically make him a different version? I mean, she repainted the world, so, like, is his soul still kind of, like, sentient? I guess that part I'm a little bit not sure about, is what happened with, like, how did Versa's story push forward? I guess she just kind of like repainted the painted version of Verso. But oh, so I guess because this version isn't created to be immortal, because she wanted to live out the rest of her life with them, right? But because this version wasn't created by Aline, Aline just wanted to live with them forever. Whereas Alicia just wants to live out her life. And so she created kind of like a mortal version of him that ages with her. Yeah, it's kind of a messed up ending. At least that direction. Assuming I can, I'm going to reload and we're going to play the other ending to see what happens there. Because I want to know what happens in both endings. I'm hoping that I can just skip most of the dialogue and just get to the fight. Or maybe I can just restart at the fight. Because I want to see the other ending. But that's like the canon decision. So let's go ahead and load this save. Well, that is just the perfect place. Okay. Oh, and this might have been obvious, Jake. I don't know how much you know about this, because we've kind of 100% confirmed this today, that the faded boy that we've been seeing the whole time is Verso. Like, that's his trapped soul. Okay, so let's skip this. And let's fight his Verso. And see how the story changes if you make that decision. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see how this fight goes. I don't have all my synergies here with Verso, but it seems like we're strong enough. Okay, I would say we did just fine. Okay. How does this change?
Don't do this. Don't leave me again.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay, huh? You've got this incredible power to paint. You'll never have to suffer a life you don't want. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
I guess that's... So I guess that was kind of like one of my lines of thinking here, choosing Mael, is that even if... I guess the decision here is whether you're going to doom Verso. Because, like he just said, if she gets out and this canvas is destroyed, like, she can make a different painting and do the same thing that she wanted to do. She could recreate this world if she wanted to, I suppose. Just without... She could even recreate Verso. Wait, maybe there's something here revealing. Because, like, why couldn't she just create another one? Maybe because it's not, like, them. You know? It's not the version that she knows. No go.
I will miss you guys.
is odd.
It's okay.
Oh, I thought he was going to ask him to paint one more thing. Paint the real world for Luna to see.
It's over. Versa.
Interesting. So Versa, I mean, it makes sense. Versa's ending is the only one that 100% confirms that was Verso. I mean, obviously you can, it's 99% implied that that's the case, right? But like, that's the hard confirmation of who it is. A life to love. Yeah, so what does Alicia do in this case?
Miroir du temps, nos histoires s'alignent. Dans le creux de nos mains, deux mondes se dessinent. L'un peint de rêve, où le chagrin s'efface. L'autre nu et réel, où notre deuil prend place.
He's a little bloody SKA. It's literally just, you know, not a sock puppet. What's the term I'm thinking of? Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's like a alternate. Well, obviously it's an alternate Earth, right, with magic, but we don't have 33 days in a month. Oh my God, Expedition 33. Jesus, there's so much 33.
Toi le vierge, horizon lointain, peignons ensemble les couleurs de demain.
Man, why is Clea's hair not a wardrobe option? I don't know why, but that to me says like French with like the headband and the bangs.
Chaque pas trace la route d'une vie. Au lendemain non écrit, sous les étoiles où tout commence, rien ne finit. Dans le dessin.
Wait, I need to see the stone again. What were the dates? Oh, you still get to see Gustav at the end. I don't think they're gonna show it again. Alright. So that ending is clearly better. At least, you know, for everyone, like, in the game, right? Everyone can go back to grieving the way they should in kind of a natural way, but you know, the question is obviously, wait, how does this... So this is still technically after the fight, right? Okay, yeah. It brought us to the same ending place, but the fight has been done. Okay. Sometimes when there are games that I've played that, you know, they load you back in, but they load you after the fight so you can, like, keep doing the boss fight. So I wasn't sure. Yeah, so, like, obviously that's, you know, the better way to heal, right? To do it naturally. I don't think that Renoir was... He was doing what he thought was right, but he was going about it in a forceful way. Obviously, he knew the pain and suffering that would be caused, or that would be dealt to his family, staying within the painting for decades and decades and decades, not actually living out real life. But that begs the question, like, what is, you know, what is real? Right? It's just, like Jakey brought it up earlier, you know, Cypher and the stake. And like, that whole scene is literally describes, like, the whole Matrix. It's just like, I know the stake isn't real, but the program is telling me it tastes good, it's juicy, and to me, and how my brain is interpreting this, like, it is real. So what is, and then, you know, you have Morpheus, like, what is real? If your brain, like, if your brain is interpreting it as real, does that mean it's real? You know, same, like, that's anytime you do things with death, right? In the last Harry Potter part where they're in King's Cross Station, or I think it's just King's Cross, and, you know, Harry asks Dumbledore, like, is any of this real? Or is it just all in my mind? He says, well, of course it's in your mind, but why doesn't that mean that it can't be real? A lot to think about. A lot to think about indeed. I think what I appreciate about this story, something that's always kind of... Something that's always bothered me a little bit about... I'll just... This is going to be very broad, but I'm going to say encompassed in the Final Fantasy style RPG. I know that's very broad, and there's a lot of things, there's a lot of RPGs that aren't inspired by Final Fantasy, but I think we all know what I mean when I say this. Is that a lot of times what happens is the stories start out as just your ragtag adventurers, probably teenage or mid-20s, and they go out on an adventure that starts as something that's within their scope. Maybe they saw a thief and it they're tracking down the thief to try and recover whatever they stole, leads to something bigger, and it's like, oh, now there's this whole, you know, corporation that's, you know, going evil, and we have to stop it. Oh, they're actually trying to awaken a god, and the game ends up these ragtag people fighting gods, and it's like, okay, this is so... It's just so out of scope for what these people could actually do. It's cool, don't get me wrong. I love my god fights, right? It's kind of like, you know, playing Final Fantasy 14 is kind of what that led into. This entire fight, like, through all the expansions, you're fighting these fights that are very grounded. You're fighting this, like, authoritarian regime. You're fighting this guy in armor. And then by the time the story comes to its conclusion, you realize that, oh, this whole story is because this race of essentially gods tried to, like, summon, I think it was Zodiark, end up just tearing the world into pieces. And, like, the final battle is you against, like, this one, I forgot the specifics, right? But basically, it's this fight amongst gods. And what this did is it kind of went the other way. We started the game with just, you know, still ragtag, but they're, you know, 30s, so they're older, which means that the story can also be a little bit more mature, a little bit more not spoon-fed to us, right? Typically, you have, like, the child character who doesn't fully understand what's going on, and so when something more complex happens, you got to have that character be like, oh, this is actually what they're saying. And Mael is a bit more mature, so we didn't necessarily have that for her. All the characters are going through and kind of realizing things on their own. But they go in knowing, like, we're just ordinary people. We got to figure out what the deal is with this goddess and somehow take her down to save our world. Don't know how, but that is their goal. And in the end, it's kind of an upside-down pyramid where we worked our way back from defeating gods to just solving family grief issues. And, like, how do you deal with grief? How do you recover from grief? Is it healthy to sink yourself into a canvas and essentially live decades in a world that is not your own? It's cool. It's a cool way to work backwards from what the typical kind of RPG... Again, I know that's very broad, but the typical RPG formula. And it's ultimately, you know, it's ultimately about the people in the world, as opposed to this overarching, you can't even comprehend their power, godhood. Right? It's beautiful. It's a great game. And that being said, we're not even done. We are going to be done today. I can't finish it any better than that. I'm just very impressed. I'm going to be thinking about this one for a while. We're definitely going to pop back in. We have to go do the tower, so we're going to have a lot more just fights moving forward. I still have to do the Dark Gestural Arena, which will probably be smoked through. I have a feeling we're going to just overpower that. I might actually just do that kind of stuff off stream. Not to bounce on you during your final thoughts. Hey, no worries, Jake. Like I said, I'm taking off here, so actually perfect time. Yeah, you just timed out well. Yeah, perfect time for you. Yeah, we're wrapping it up here. Perfect time to do so. Yeah, so I'm probably gonna play. I'm gonna play a little bit more. Collect basically any Pictos that I might have missed. Go ahead and unlock, or do all the fights that I need to make it so that I can use everything. And yeah, we'll go do that. We'll play out the tower, see how the tower goes. I have no idea what to expect there. I'm hoping that that's like post-game challenge, because at this point, the combat has been far too easy, right? We're over-leveling everything. So I hope that the tower is actually somewhat of a challenge. But yeah, we'll jump back in Monday and potentially wrap this all up. But thank you, everyone, so much for hanging out with me. I know this is kind of an impromptu stream, kind of what I've been doing on Saturdays. If I have the time, jump in. I really wanted to finish this up, and that's where we're going to leave it. So, again, thanks so much for being here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Jake, go ahead and enjoy those fights. And, yeah, see y'all on Monday. Peace.